Please welcome to the stage Antenna co-founder and CEO, Jonathan Carson.
Thank you. Great to be here. I'm Jonathan Carson, co-founder and CEO of Antenna. For those not familiar with Antenna's work, just a little bit about what we do. We're a data analytics company focused on the subscription economy. So we use financial transaction data from about 2 million Americans to count the number of subscribers to different services and do detailed analytics on their acquisition and churn. And today we're going to focus the conversation on the impact of sports in that streaming space. Really exciting topic, a lot happening in that space. To set the tone and think about the context of where we're coming from, we should think about the way sports has worked historically in the linear video world. So historically, sports rights holders have really programmed around some very distinct fan audiences. And so they had a casual fan audience who were interested in a big game, watch an occasional key matchup. And those individuals, that crowd was addressed with big partnerships with cable networks and broadcast networks for game of the week type of programming. Second group, hometown fans, think of this as the individuals that are big fans of the local team, want to watch a number of their games, but that's really where their interest lies. That crowd was addressed historically through local affiliate deals, through RSNs. And then our final group were the diehards, these individuals that want to watch as much of that league as they possibly can. And the sports leagues were real innovators in the subscription space, creating these DTC sports league services that showed substantially all the games that were not broadcast through those other two groups. Importantly, as we switch to a post-pay TV model, a streaming model, it's important to think about how those different audiences are addressed. And so that's what I want to focus on today. Let's start with the casual fans. If we go back a couple of years, the casual fan who was a cord cutter was actually not very well addressed. A relatively small number of them had access to game of the week type of programming. There's been a dramatic change in that over the past couple of years. The growth of Paramount Plus, introduction of Peacock, ESPN Pluses, increasing their game of the week programming, and now the sports tier of Max. And Antenna estimates that all those things combined give about 50 million American subscribers access to game of the week style programming. That's going to keep increasing. So casual fans really well taken care of. All right, our next group, hometown fans, more of a challenge. So hometown fans traditionally addressed by those RSNs, the regional sports networks, which are really a central part still of the linear television packages. And they just over the past couple quarters have started to launch direct-to-consumer services. This is a look at a portion of Bally Sports Plus's acquisition. But just for sense of scale, if you compare it to a general service like ESPN Plus or a niche specialty service like MLB TV, much smaller in acquisition. So the hometown fan, we've still got a ways to go as an industry to addressing that audience in the streaming world. Let's focus the rest of the time on what I think is really a fascinating category, and that is the diehard fans. So as I said, the leagues were really pioneers in the direct-to-consumer space in developing these league-based services which broadcast substantially all or a great majority of the league games to those diehard fans at an aggressive price point, at high price points. Antenna has seen over the past about 4 years, 10 million unique Americans sign up for those direct league services. So they have great traction, great foundation, still growing up and to the right. This is a great business. The thing that is especially interesting about this category is, despite the fact that it's been around for a couple of decades, there's a lot of change recently. So let's talk about that real quick. First of all, the MLS. So the MLS did what was really a pretty transformational model in their deal with Apple TV. And so essentially MLS Season Pass aggregates all of the MLS rights, including Game of the Week and hometown games, into a single central package exclusively available through Apple TV. And this turned out to be really important because big plot twist this summer, what happened in MLS, the biggest soccer player in the world suddenly decided to come into the league. And what we saw was an enormous, messy bump, a huge bump in acquisition for MLS Season Pass. The simplicity of that product was really important because when that Messi news hit, diehard Messi fans that wanted to watch every single match, but also casual fans who were just kind of caught up in the excitement of the moment, they knew very well where to go. It was very simple, one single product, one single distributor. So we saw this big, huge bump. The day of Messi's debut, we actually saw 4 times the acquisition level of the MLS season opener. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this model. Number one, do those people stick around or were they just caught up in the initial hype? Number two, is this replicable? There is only one Leo Messi, so we'll see if this type of model can hold going forward. All right, let's finish up talking about the big kahuna, the NFL. The NFL, obviously, in so many ways, is a market maker in this space and in the media space in general. For such a scaled and established brand, they've had a remarkable amount of change in their direct-to-consumer league services over the past 15 months or so. Starting in summer of 2022, they pulled out of a big deal for their mobile-only product, NFL Plus, pulled out of a big deal with Verizon, brought that in-house as an owned and operated service called NFL Plus. Then in the spring of 2023, pulled their Sunday Ticket product, their diehard aficionado product, out of a long-term and very successful deal with DirecTV, moved that into a new partnership with YouTube. And then just for good measure, this summer they did a big upgrade to an overhaul of the NFL Plus product. So how is that going? It's going pretty great. If we look at NFL Plus, Antenna estimates that it peaked at about 1.7 million subscribers last season, then entered this season at the end of August with 1.3 million subs, which is about double what they came into last season with. And hot off the presses, and probably reported in Bloomberg about 45 seconds ago, Antenna estimates that they have just surpassed, NFL Plus has just surpassed 2 million subscribers in the month of September. So NFL Plus off to a great start. So let's talk about Sunday Ticket. This is obviously a big partnership with YouTube, and we have some early results. We see Sunday Ticket also off to a fast start. Antenna estimates 1.3 million signups through October 1st for Sunday Ticket. And the interesting thing about this product is, or this partnership, is it brings multiple potential benefits to YouTube. So they certainly, they get the revenue from the actual 1.3 million signups, and that is substantial. This is a premium price product. Price point goes up to almost $500, so like twice the yearly cost of the most premium Netflix subscription. But in addition to that, YouTube can derive other benefits. For one thing, they can generate new subscriptions to YouTube TV. For those who have used the product, it's very gracefully integrated. Sunday Ticket, very gracefully integrated into the YouTube TV experience. And so YouTube is seeing a substantial number of new YouTube TV subscribers who sign up along with Sunday Ticket. If we put aside the opening promotional weeks, which were mostly focused on existing YouTube TV subscribers, since that time, individuals who are signing up for Sunday Ticket as an add-on to YouTube, 41% of them are new to YouTube TV. So incremental new YouTube TV subscribers. That's a almost $75 a month product, so that's substantial incremental revenue. In addition, for those who do not purchase Sunday Ticket with YouTube TV. The way that they buy it is through something called YouTube Primetime Channels. This is YouTube's new distribution hub. So it's a hub where you can subscribe to many different subscription services, kind of a competitor to a Roku or an Amazon Channels. We see that 55% of all signups for Sunday Ticket since that opening promotional period have come through YouTube Primetime Channels. And to put that into some sort of scale, if we look at the total number of YouTube Primetime Channels signups across all services, August, the preseason month for Sunday Ticket, drove the largest month that YouTube Primetime Channels has had in its short history, and Sunday Ticket was over half of the activity in Primetime Channels. So if those individuals, now that they're introduced to this new distribution center, become loyal customers, that's a big additional benefit. All right, so this is just the top line. We've got much more coming out in Antenna's Q4 State of Subscriptions report, which will be focused on sports programming. So look for that coming soon, and thanks for having me.